Okay, today we're gonna rank all the heroes in Marvel Rivals in Season 1.5 till today. We are gonna make the tier list based on the win rates itself, not on my personal feelings, just on the raw stats till today. Yeah, we're gonna start with the supports. Yeah, we start with Rakuni. We can start with Adam. Adam has a win rate of 52.21%. Just based on the win rate statistics, I'm gonna put him in A. Be mindful, win rate is not everything that counts, especially if you divide it through all the ranks. Like just if you just take the mean like this, there's a lot of aspects that go into how good a hero is. Like, for example, how well does he get value on his own? What heroes enables him? What heroes does he enable? Like with the team ups, or just like the synergy of the abilities. So generally, the mainstream heroes who are really good are mostly self-sufficient. They can get value on their own. They can survive, and yeah, they get a lot of value. But we are just gonna do the tier list based on the win rate itself because I find this really interesting. Sometimes it helps to just look at the raw data itself, not only on the feelings of like people or like high rank. So in all the ranks, Adam Warlock has a win rate of 52.21%. That's really good. So at least an A tier, maybe even S. Yeah, and I think this is good. Yeah, next one in the support strategist is Cloak and Dagger. This will be a surprise. Her win rate is a whopping 47.37. So really, really bad. A lot of people think she's broken. I mean, she still gets her ult fast. Her ult is really good. It's a defensive ult. That's always nice to have. But I think either a lot of players know how to counter Cloak and Dagger or don't get as much value as she should get. So just from these stats alone, she's the second worst support currently. So I put her in. I think D tier is too harsh. We go with C. 47.37. Next one is Invis Woman. Invis Woman has a win rate currently of 48.46%, which is also, funnily enough, in the negative side. Everything that's negative I will not put in B. B should be like equal, or maybe 0.5 plus or minus like percent. I still think she's really good personally, but yeah, based on the win rates itself, not really. Yeah, one of the reasons why like these two should be in theory really good, and I think on some tier lists they will be even S or A tier, is that like the pick rate is really high, so a lot of people play her. If a lot of people play them, there's a chance that a lot of people don't know how to play her. And yeah, that's I think one of the main reasons why the win rate is low. Another reason is also that maybe like the skill cap is not as straightforward as some other heroes you will see. Especially like Cloak. Cloak has nearly 50% pick rate, which is insane. Yes, we go next one. We go with Jeff. Jeff. What do you think? I mean, I really like Jeff, but based on the win rate, he can't be higher than D. That's quite sad. He has a win rate of 43.52%. Yeah, this is really bad. Pick rate is not even that low, like 12%. The thing about Shark is most people who play Shark play him as a support. But the true value from Jeff is not as a support, but from a DPS or like a hybrid. Problem is, you need then to have free support to enable the Jeff. If not, it's not gonna work. Unless you really do work, you know. If you go behind enemies and get the attention of the two supports like always, or even kill them, then it works. But also the higher you go in the ranks, the better the support gets at surviving. So Jeff is really situational. That's the thing about him. But if play correct is, for me, he's S tier. Yes, next one. Loki has a positive win rate. That's nice. He has a 51.22%. That means he's gonna be higher than B tier. So behind Adam, because Adam has a higher win rate. Loki is really good because you can like copy every ult possible. Mostly it's just gonna copy like a defensive ult. But yeah, just this option makes him really flexible. His healing is sometimes map dependent because he really shines when he can be on high ground. Gets easier to shoot and heal because of the splash damage. Loki is quite hard to kill if you play him correctly. And he has a really good, yes, the lamp, which like a small mini ult, you could say. Next one is Luna Snow. Also has a negative win rate. That's funny. She has a win rate of 47.41%. So she's between Invis and Cloak. Again, her pick rate is way higher than the others, like from Adam or Loki. So more people play her. She's not as straightforward as, yeah, again, as some other heroes. So she has to hit her shots to get value. I mean, her ult is not the hardest to use, but you still have like to time it, I guess. So yeah, in my opinion, like also in higher rank, she becomes kind of busted because later we're gonna see the team-ups itself. Her team-ups are really good, and she currently has a healing bonus. I feel like she's S rank. Next one is Mantis. Mantis is the first S tier pick. She has a really high win rate across all the ranks, with a 53.87% till this day. One of the things that makes her unique is she's more like a damage dealer who can easily heal. She can like put her orbs or damage buff on others and then focus on damage. Her ult is good, and she can CC with the sleep. So yeah, she's S tier. Next one is Raccoony. Before we talked about why like Luna and Invis like these have such a low win rate. I mean, everybody knows they're out good. But the thing is, they at least have to aim somehow, like in some sense. They're like not as straightforward as Raccoon. They have to like to hit the abilities. They have to aim like properly, you could say. But Raccoon, the thing is, he can just heal bot. He doesn't really has to aim that well. Yeah, and this is the reason he has a high pick rate with 30%. If you want to climb the ranks fast, pick Raccoon, which you will get value quite easily. He's the highest win rate of the supports across the ranks with a 54.53%, which is insane. This is the tier list of the supports of all the ranks combined today. Take it with a grain of salt because it's just a win rate, and there's way more nuances and elements that come to play. So just keep watching and you will see what I mean. Then you can make some assumptions based on the new information you get. That's my style of making a tier list. Not based on my views, but based on the statistics. So you can deduce like in a statistical way and get a mean. Okay. Next up we have tanks, we have Vanguards. Again, same thing. We're gonna do it based on the win rates itself across all the ranks. We're gonna start with Captain America, which got a lot of buffs. And yes, his win rate is positive. His win rate is 52.83%, which puts him as the highest win rate tank in the game. He's close to 53%, not quite, so I will not put him in S tier. I think A tier will suit him fine. Next one, Strange. Strange has a negative win rate of 48.96%. As you can assume, the pick rate is way higher, Doctor Strange, than Captain America. So we can always like deduce high pick rate correlates with lower win rate in general. If the hero has some kind of steep learning curve. Again, normally you would see Strange in meta tier list, but the win rate, funnily enough, is negative. Next one, we have Groot. Groot is decent in terms of win rate. He has a win rate of 50.11%. Yeah, also the pick rate is quite high. So I feel like Groot is a really stable pick. Next one, Hulk. Hulk is also close. He has a win rate of 49.95%. He lags behind Groot in terms of win rate. He's another hero who has a steep learning curve, but with a great team up. But later more to this. Next up is Magneto. As we can already deduce, high pick rates means or equals oftentimes lower win rate. He has the lowest win rate of all the Vanguards with a 48.91%. But yeah, it's not that far away from Doctor Strange. Maybe that's why. Maybe both get combined a lot, like in rank. Next up is Penny. Yeah, if you deduce again, pick rate probably is not as high as the other two. And how easily does she get value compared to Strange and Magneto? I guess you can imagine she gets value quite easily, especially in lower ranks, and most people play in lower ranks. So she has the second highest win rate in the game of tanks with a 52.71%. The Thing. The newest tank, he's quite new, so a lot of people don't know how to play him. So that will make the tier list or the information not as precise as the other ones, but we're still gonna make it based on the stats. And his stats is a win rate of 49.48%. And he has a really high pick rate. He has the highest pick rate of all the Vanguards currently with 33%. I will still put him in B because he's quite close to 50%. So we can deduce he has the highest pick rate and not the lowest win rate, so that either means he gets value quite easily or he's really overtuned. You could also deduce not only from abilities, but also from team ups, like from synergy, or just from his base stats, such as the knockback resistance. Next up is Thor. Yeah, Thor is another interesting candidate. He has a win rate of 52.24%. So he will also go to the A tier. He does a lot of damage, which is nice. His pick rate is also quite high. That means a lot of people get value from him compared to like Strange and stuff. Venom does get picked that often with like a 10%. Still okay, but it's not that much. And his win rate is negative with 49.23%. So I will put him in top of C tier. I mean, he's quite hard to play to get value of because you have to coordinate with the team. There's also, like, as I said, a lot of other elements that come to play with the team ups. So as it seems, with this win rate is an okay pick, but not the best. So this is it for the tanks. Next up, we're gonna check out the DPS and their win rates. Okay, first up, from all the ranks, the win rate of Black Panther. Yeah, funnily enough, his win rate, I thought it's gonna be lower. It's 50.03%. So it's nearly 50%, like break even. His pick rate is not that high, but yeah. You could also always say when the win rate is at least 50%, in my opinion, he's really balanced. Like for the majority of players. It's a different story if you're like on the top or at the bottom of the leaderboard. Then stats don't always like correlate with your games that well. But yeah, this tier list currently is for the majority of players. Next up is Black Widow. I guess you can think what you want. I'll let you think. She's F tier. She has a win rate of 41.52%. Yeah, she's hard to get value for most people. Yeah, based on this win rate, it's quite clear. She also has a really low pick rate, like I think the lowest of all, with 30.64%. Yep. Next, we're gonna check Hawkeye. That's interesting. I didn't think Hawkeye has this bad of a win rate, but he has a win rate for most people 46.1%. So really not good at all. I mean, his pick rate is also really low with about 5%. It just means that not a lot of people pick him. and is also not the easiest to get value on. Next up is Hela. Hela will be B tier. She has a win rate of 49.98%. She has a really high pick rate with like 12.5%. Yeah, that shows that a lot of people get value from her. She's quite good, even though she's hit scan and you have to hit her shots. I mean, if a hero isn't that easy to get value on and still gets like an 50% win rate, means that she's quite good for most people. She's maybe a little overtuned. Next up is Human Torch. This one will be interesting. He's quite new, so a lot of people don't know how to play him. A lot of people will try him out. He has a pick rate of 15%, which is really high, but with a win rate of 45.55%. He's even below Hawkeye. Either he's really hard to get value, or people are bad with him. It's hard to get value, it seems. So we have to wait and check. Iron Fist, he got buffed, in my opinion. He has a win rate of 49.83%. You don't really have to aim on him. That helps. That boosts his plays. Yeah. Next up is Iron Man. Iron Man has a win rate of 49.5%. So he will also go to B tier, like at the lower end. Magic. Magic has the highest win rate of all DPS, with a win rate of 52.72%. So she will go to A tier. She's really fun to play. Her pick rate is really high. Mr. Fantastic also has a really good win rate. He has a win rate of 51.9%, close to 52%. He has a lot of pick rate is 7.5%. It's not too bad. Moon Knight, the nerf didn't suit him that well. He currently has the second lowest win rate of all the heroes, the DPS heroes. Yeah, with 45.03%. His pick rate is really high, so that really means he's also not really, shouldn't be the hardest. I mean, he has a lot of abilities, but when he plays well with his anchors, he shouldn't aim that much. So just goes to show, even though he's not that hard to play and he still doesn't get value for most people, it just means maybe that something is wrong. Somehow he doesn't get much value, either from his team up or from his abilities, from the stats, from everything, from the old. And the more, for most people, the more has a negative win rate of 47.41%. It's like, I think the highest pick rate of all the DPS. No, not the highest, but one of the highest with 16%. Psylocke has a better. She's about 49% win rate. In my opinion, a little harder to play. Still a high pick rate with like 13%. Okay, now we look at Scarlet Witch. She will be easier to get value than most. Let's see, win rates of close to 50%. It's 49.39. Not quite B tier for most, but I will put her top at C. Spider-Man has a win rate of 49.51%. Oh, he will be at the bottom. No, above Iron Man, but yeah, still lower of B ranks. Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl would be at the bottom of C tier, which is a win rate of 47.1%. Most people don't really get much value out of her, it seems, because she has a high pick rate of 15%. Next up is Star-Lord. Star-Lord is close to 50%. Is 49.78%. So he's below Iron Fist. Yeah, he's decent. He's decent for most people. Hit scan is reliable, and yeah. Storm is the second highest win rate of all the characters, the DPS characters, with 52.64%. Yeah, Great Olds can boost the whole team, even though her pick rate is not that high, with 6.4%. Punisher is a negative win rate of 47.89%, so he will be below Psylocke. My opinion is really consistent, but his hit scan, and you have to hit while shooting, you have to track, Even though he has a really high pick rate of like 16%, most people don't get as much value. Winter Soldier is by far the most common pick in the whole game, unfortunately. He has a win rate of 49.77%, so that just gets him below Star-Lord. Yeah, he's good across all the ranks because he's quite easy to get value on. His abilities and Teamup. And yeah, the stats represent him quite well. Lastly, Wolverine. For most people, they don't get as much value with Wolverine. He will be below Punisher with a win rate of 47.71%. But he's also not picked that much with 6.31%. Yeah, this is it for the DPS. Maybe realized the overall win rate of DPS is lower, like as a standard, than the other characters. That just goes to show that you get more impact if you play another role, and maybe too much people play DPS itself and they're not willing to swap. So just to keep in mind. Okay, let's check the win rates of the team ups across all the ranks, starting with Iron Fist and Luna. They have a win rate of 54.71%, quite a low pick rate of 4.19%. So this will be at least an A tier. A tier because the win rates will get way higher. And yeah, Mr. Fantastic and Invis, they have a win rate of 55.42%. So they are even above the others. Captain America, Thor, and Storm have a win rate of 66.18%, which is insane. We'll put them in the God tier. The pick rate is really low. It's below 1%. So it just goes to show how good this could be, like in theory. Next up, we're gonna take Skrull and Spidey. They have a win rate of 54%. Also gonna be below Luna and Iron Fist. Next up, Winter Soldier, Raccoon, and Punisher. They have a win rate of 57.74%. It's also insane. I will put them in S tier. The team up with Cloak and Dagger and Moon Knight. Funnily enough, they have the first negative win rate of 46.39%. Also, the pick rate is really high, so maybe this helps to explain it. So more people play it. Maybe more people have to flex this, but it also goes to show that something about this team up is not that good. This will be the first D tier. Magneto and Scarlet have a win rate of 53.75% and a really high pick rate of close to 12%. So that really goes to show how well this team up works, because the pick rate is high and the win rate is still high. This I will put in also in A rank, just below Spidey. Now we're gonna see Adam, Star-Lord, and Mantis. They're gonna be our God tier win rate, the highest team up win rate there is currently, with 68.71%. The pick rate is really low, also really low with like about 1.2%, but still shows how well this can work. Now we're gonna check the Thing and Logan. They have a win rate of 50.64%, even though the team up is not worked out yet. So it just goes to show how maybe well they synergize, even though, yeah, they're still above 50%. So I think it's still decent, and they will only get better. Also, as people get to know to play the Thing better. Next up is the Torch and Storm. As you've seen from the trailer, this works quite well, like the team up. Also with the ult and everything, we can counter support ults. They have a win rate of 53.57%. So also A tier. Psylocke, Magic, and Panther. They have a win rate of 55.74%. So this bumps them just below the other S tier. The thing though is here is the pick rate is way lower. So like only a pick rate of 0.29%. Keep in mind, if the pick rate is low and the win rate is high, that doesn't mean for most people it gets a lot of value. It just means that maybe one tricks played this comp, which are really good at the like mechanically at the hero itself. And I think this will not work for most people, but it still has potential. Next up we have Strange, Hulk, and Iron Man. They have a win rate of 57.74%. So the same win rate as Bucky, Raccoon, Punisher. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why it gets banned so much, like Hulk, because he enables Iron Man and especially Strange, which is meta anyways. So yeah, this game is a lot more about synergy than like in individual character strengths. Next one will be Venom, Penny, and Spidey. They have a win rate of whopping 60.75%. So they will be bumped up to the God tier one because the win rate is so high. 60.75%. This is really high. The pick rate is really low though. It's below 1%, like 0.94%. Still goes to show how much potential this comp has, especially to enable the heroes. Next up we have Widow, Hawkeye. Maybe as you can expect from the win rates before, they have the lowest win rates, even as team synergy, with 43.01%. Both individually hard to play. The team up doesn't help them that much for most players, and also the pick rate is like it's the lowest pick rate of all the team ups across all the ranks. Next up is Human Torch and Invis Woman. They have a win rate of 51.14%. Still positive, so I will put him at the bottom of A yet. Next up is Wolverine and Hulk. They have a win rate of 53.42%, so quite good. They will be above Torch and Invis Woman, like here in between. Now only two left. Now we're gonna check Luna, Jeff, and Namor. They have a win rate of 54.45%, so really good. The pick rate is quite low though, with only close to 2%. They will be below Iron Fist and Luna. Lastly, Hela, Loki, and Thor. They have a whopping win rate of 62.45%. Pick rate is also really low, below 2%, but that still bumps them up to the third highest team up win rate in the game. So they're gonna go right in the God tier. Yes, this is it for the team up win rates of across all the ranks. Take it again with a grain of salt, and we're now gonna move on to the team comp win rates across all the ranks. Okay, we're gonna start with 1-4-1. One tank, 4 duelist, and 1 support. They have a win rate of 26.81%. So complete dog shit. This is gonna go into D tier. Next up, 3-3. The goats. They have a higher win rate of 33.7%. Still really low. So they go into C tier. Next up is 4 duelist and 2 support. They have a win rate of 29.78%. So also really bad. Next up we have 3 tanks, 1 DPS, and 2 supports. They have a win rate of 33.7%. That bumps them just above goats. 1, 2, 3. 1 tank. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. They have a win rate of 44.4%. So the highest currently. We're gonna move the others back and put them in C tier. Still not B. In general, the win rates are way lower if you try different comps currently. Next up is 2-1-3. 2-1-3 has a win rate of 44.33%. It's just below the other one of the 1-2-3. As many maybe are thinking, this one is thought of as like the meta, as the 3 supports. Of course, this is across all the ranks, and normally the better the rank, the better supports will become, because they can counter the abilities better. They know how to use abilities better and stuff. But it still goes to show that across all the ranks, the win rate is still negative. So I would not advise to, if like you hear in comp, if you're like gold or something, that you should swap to third support. Just know this and know these statistics. They may be able to help you in choosing. Next up is 1-3-2. Yeah, funnily enough, this has a higher win rate of 3 supports, 2 tanks, across all the ranks. Yeah, I guess in most ranks they have a win rate of 49.36%, so close to 50%, really close. And also like the second highest pick rate of all the comps. So for most people, just look at this. Choose this comp over the 3 supports for most people based on the stats itself. Next up is 2-2-2. I will let you guys think. Yes, this is by far the best win rate of all. This is the only positive win rate across all the ranks. It has a win rate of 53.03%. Just because of the reason it's the only positive one, I will put it at S. Yeah. So for most people, the best comp is just to go 2-2-2. It's also the highest picked one by far with 60% pick rate. And as it seems, it's the most balanced one, the most optimized one. We still have 2 more. Next up is 3 DPS, 3 supports. This win rate is really bad with 24.31%. So this will go into the F tier. Don't play this. And lastly, we're gonna check 2 tanks, 3 supports, and 1 support. I mean, what do you guys think? You can pause the video. Just based on the 1 support, it should give you an alarm sign, because supports are really strong in the game and 1 is oftentimes not enough, as you can saw here. Especially now you have 2 tanks, and who's gonna heal the 2 tanks? The 1 support? I guess not. The win rate is the lowest of all the team comps in the whole game, with a 20.14%. So this will be the bottom of F. Yes, these are the tier list of the team comps across all the ranks. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't just play triple support without seeing the reason why. And mostly it doesn't really matter in lower rank. It's oftentimes just helps to play the team comp that helps win the most based on the statistics. And yeah, I wanted to show you this kind of tier list because other tier lists only conclude the opinions of maybe high rank players, and they see the game differently from you. Even though they can just make a second tier list about lower rank, they can try to imagine how it is in lower rank, even though they never really play a lot in there. So I hope this will help. And yeah, next up I'm gonna show all the different tier list of the different ranks, like separately. This is gonna be really fast. You can skip through it. You can pause. This will just try to help you to deduce based on like the stats what in your current rank what the best choice would be based on facts. Yeah, this is the tier list of bronze currently in season 1.5. It's about this for the gold ranks. Okay, this is quite interesting. This is the starting rank. This is bronze. This is the tier list of bronze of the win rates. These are the win rates of the team comps in bronze. Yeah, this is the rank for silver, like the supports, strategists. Yeah, this will be bronze for the Vanguards. This is silver. This is the tier list for silver, the team-ups. These are the win rates of the team comps in silver. Yes, this is it for gold. gold. And silver, it looks like this. Okay. This is the rank for gold. This is the tier list for gold for the Teamups. Yeah, this is the rank for Plat. Yeah, this is it for Plat. Okay, for Plat, these are the ranks. This is the tier list for Plat. These are the win rates of the team comps in Plat. As this should be diamonds. Yeah, this would be diamond. This is for diamond. This is the tier list for diamond. These are the win rates of the team comps in diamond. This GM. And this is GM. These are the win rates for Grandmaster, GM. This is the tier list for GM. These are the win rates of the team comps in GM. Yes, this is Celestial, funnily enough. Yeah, this is Celestial. Yeah, this is for Celestial. These are the Teamup win rates based on Celestial. These are the win rates of the team comps in Celestial. This is Eternity. This is the tier list for Eternity. These are the win rates of the team ups in Eternity. These are the win rates of the team comps in Eternity. This is one above all, the highest of the highest rank. And this is the highest rank, one above all. This is the tier list for one above all. And these are the win rates of the team ups in one above all. And these are the win rates of the team comp in one above all.